Grand Rising family. This is Big Judah. We're going to do an interview with our brother, okay, from over across the pond, okay. Let's see, Yance, Yamar
Yamar
L.
L.
Great hearing you once again, and the nation's been definitely wanting this to happen again. I've had requests for you to come back again and share with us, and I'm glad the Most High put it on your heart to come and share with the nation. And please go ahead and give introductions once again and let the nation know what the Most High has put on your heart.
Okay, well, thank you very, very much. I wanted to be able to say, first of all, that I'm grateful to be back here, and I'm just very honored. And there is some things that are heavy on my heart that I had to really get a chance to, I guess, process. And so I'm going to share this with you. And this is information that can maybe enlighten you as to what is going on. Can you hold just 1 second?
Of course, of course.
One thing that's important. I got to do just 1 second.
We did this interview last summer, and how things have changed and how things have accelerated in this last year, family. So I had actually talked to Brother Yance Yamarel about a month ago and see if he wanted to have another chance to do an interview. And he said the Most High had told him to kind of stand down at this point. And then he reached out to me this evening, and now we're back again. So this is a beautiful time. So I'm looking forward to this time. I think the brother's back right now.
I'm back.
All right, beautiful.
Let's get started. Okay. The first thing I wanted to talk about is the planetary alignment that happened at its most poignant point at June 24th, 2022. Okay. Now, some of you may be aware that there was the same planetary alignment in the year 1864. Now, what they're not telling you is that between the years of 1864 to 1865, that was a Jubilee year. Okay? So for the year 1864 to 1865, that was a Jubilee year. And that happened with the same planetary alignment that we're having as of June 24th, or actually throughout the whole month of June it was. So now we move to June 24th, 2022, and we're actually in a Jubilee year again from the year 2021 to 2022, which is the 50th Jubilee year. Okay. And I want to read the definition from a Bible verse, which is in the King James Bible. Okay. And it's in the book of Leviticus, and it's chapter 25, verse 10. And I'm going to read this first in its entirety, and then we're going to look at the etymology of the words, keywords, so we can have a better understanding of what this Bible verse is actually saying. Okay?
All right.
So here we go. And ye shall hallow the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. Okay? Now, let's look up the word family first. The etymology of the word family means people who descended from a common ancestor. Okay? So to be returned to your family means to be returned back to your ancestor. Okay? Possession, material or landed property, goods, lands, or rights owned. So these are the possessions that your ancestors had that is now you're the heir to receive under this Jubilee. The The word liberty means free choice to do as one chooses, freedom from bondage of sin, civil or political freedom. And hallow means make holy, sanctify, to honor as holy, consecrate, or ordain. So let's read it again. Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 10. And ye shall hallow, means ordain, the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout the land unto the inhabitants thereof. It is a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. In other words, restoration is in order. Okay, and as this year, now your adversaries, ish, whatever we want to call them, I'll say the adversary, they changed the name from Jubilee to Shemitah. So they call it a super Shemitah this year. And they counted from September 23rd, 2021 to September 23rd, 2022. And the other adversary calls it the Great Reset. I'm sure you've heard that around the net. The Great Reset.
Yes.
This is what they're talking about. It is a golden jubilee, and it's on to you, our people. Okay? And I'm going to prove it to you, how they play with words and move things around. So you're really dealing with restoration as opposed to reparations. Both are due, but restoration is very important because, as the Bible verse states, you must be returned to your possessions, and you are the heir by blood, birthright, to our ancestors' goods, lands, whatever they owned, artifacts. Those things belong to us because we're the blood heirs. We're the sons and daughters of our ancestors, the descendants.
Yeah.
Reparations is based on damages of the things that they did to plunder us over the time that they had us under bondage. So we have to understand the two things that we're dealing with here. Most people are kind of stuck on reparations, but your restoration really is at hand.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Now that we got the definition of that out the way, I'm going to go back into some history, and we're going to see how a pattern has emerged. It's very important. Okay. On June 19th, 1865, remember, 1864 to 1865 was a Jubilee year. Okay? So Juneteenth Day was actually named Jubilee Day. Then they changed the name so that they can hide it from you. 1864 to 1865, the planets lined up like they did just recently. They had to let you go free. Now, they kept you in the dark until 1867. That's when they told us that we were free, if you recall. All right. On that same year in 1865, mysteriously and miraculously, the 13th Amendment was passed by Congress on June 31st, 1865, and made into a law in their legal system, December 6, 1865. And we all know what the 13th Amendment says. It says that if you're arrested or convicted of any crime, you are put back into chattel slavery.
Yep.
Okay. Now, up until that point, you were not a United States citizen. Now, in 1868, the 14th Amendment was passed by Congress June 13th, 1866, and it became a law in their legal system July 9th, 1868. That's when they naturalized you and have you to believe that you are a United States citizen. That's very important because we have to look back at 1864. Well, what were we then?
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
what bloodline, people? What were we? What were we called then? What language was we speaking? All these things raise a question. Now, also, I'm going to give you this, and we're going to discuss this later on. Titles of Nobility Amendment was the original 13th Amendment, and it's missing. It's called the missing 13th Amendment. And it was on the United States Constitution, 11th Congress passed on May 1st, 1810. And we're going to get back to that in just a short minute. But first, I want to continue to go down to this history, this historical list of what happened. So, as of 1868, we were classified as United States citizens. We were naturalized, okay? And we bought into it. And they said that we became United States citizens according to their legal system on July 9th, 1868. Now, let's fast forward. In 2019 is the anniversary from 1619, right? 400 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then we move up into 2020 and 2021. So now from 2019, we were actually supposed to probably be free. I'm not sure, but they didn't say anything, right? And then on June 17th, 2021, President Joseph Biden had signed the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act into law on June 17th, 2021, right?
Yes.
Okay, now. But it wasn't practiced officially until June 20th, 2022. Okay, so you see how they held you up again for 2 years? From 64 to 1867, you see, and then from here they held you up from 2019 to 2022.
Yep.
Now Kamala has given us a speech, but first I want to go with let's analyze the word National Independence Day Act, which is, for your record, you can go to congress.gov and it's under S.475, Juneteenth National Independence Day Act, 117th Congress, 2021 to 2022. Okay? You can go find this on the government site. It's named that.
Yeah.
All right. So let's look up the words National Independence Day Act and see what they really mean. Because like I said before, we're always lost in translation with this language that we're speaking. Okay. National means a whole people of a country. Independence means self-support, self-government. Day means lifetime, definite, time of existence. And act means a thing done, set in motion, to do or perform. So, national, whole body, a whole people of a country. Independence means you're independent from something, independent from somebody. Day, for the rest of your life, for a lifetime, definite, time of exist for the time we exist as a people. An act set in motion, meaning it's put into play. Now, I'm going to send you this link later after we do this show, brother.
Okay.
And it will give you the link to Kamala Harris reading a proclamation to us on June 20th, 2022. Okay. And this video just disappeared. Luckily, the Most High put it on my heart to, first of all, see it, secondly, to get it, and then translate it and do the etymology of the words.
Beautiful.
So I'm going to read you her speech that she gave on June 20th, 2022, the first day of your independence. It's not just Juneteenth. In the media, they'll say Juneteenth. But Congress is Juneteenth National Independence Day. So it's your Independence Day. Okay? It's not just it's Juneteenth, the day they freed the slaves. No, it's your Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
They see the game. See the way they do this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I'm gonna read her speech first, like I did the Bible verse, and then we'll go back and we'll look at the etymology of the word so we can get a full understanding of the word salad that she's saying to us. Okay? So here we go. On Juneteenth, we celebrate the fulfillment of emancipation, the proclamation that all people held as slaves shall henceforth be forever free. It returned to them what was taken from them, the freedom that was theirs by birth and by right, autonomy over their own body and their own life, the promise of liberty and independence. In doing so, our nation defined freedom and opposition to slavery of Black people in America. It was a step toward making real the ideals set forth at the founding of our nation, that we are all entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, she just gave that little short blurb, and then that video was gone. All right. From her office as the vice president. Okay, now let's go back and look at the etymology of the words. We're going to look at fulfillment, emancipation, slaves, henceforth, liberty, and those are the key words, right? Okay, so on Juneteenth, we celebrate the fulfillment. Fulfillment means completion. All right. So on Juneteenth, we celebrate the fulfillment, which is another word of saying completion of emancipation. Emancipation means to set free. All right. The proclamation means to make known. Proclamation means I need to make this known, that all people held as slaves, and I'm going to look up the etymology of the word slave, person who is chattel or property of another, shall henceforth, key word there, from this time forth, from now on. All right. So she's saying here, I proclaim that all people held as slaves shall henceforth, from this time forth, from now on, right? And then she goes, it returned to them what was taken from them, their freedom that was theirs by birth and by right. Autonomy. Now let's look up autonomy. Autonomy means living by one's own laws. The will giveth itself in its own laws based on conscious independence, immunity from arbitrary exercise or authority, political independence, personal independence, self-reliance, self-sufficiency. Okay, that's what autonomy means, over their own body. A key word, body. Let's look up what the word body means. This is all in the etymology dictionary, people. Go look this up. Get a note and pen and look these words up so you can see for yourself. Body, a group of persons associated by some common tie or occupation regarded as an entity, right? So let's look up the word entity. Entity, to have its own distinct existence. So what she's saying here is that you have the free will to be politically independent, personal independence, self-reliance, self-sufficiency over your own body as a people, as an entity, as a nation, as a church. All these means a group of people related in some way, which is most commonly by bloodline and birthright. And that's us. Mm-hmm. Okay. And their own life. And their own life means individually. The promise of liberty. Again, let's look up the word liberty again. Free choice to do as one chooses, free from bondage of sin, civil or political freedom. So she's saying you the promise of liberty and independence. There's that word again. And doing so, our nation, meaning their nation, that has nothing to do with us, define freedom and opposition to slavery of Black people in America. our misnomer, that's what they call it. It was a step toward making real the ideal set forth and the founding of our nation, that we are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, that's the laws of God right there. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's outside the scope of their legal system. Mm-hmm. You have a legal system, and then you have a lawful system, which is God's lawful system. But you have their legal system, which is basically they could do anything under their legal system. Slavery was legal. Anything to be.
Yep.
You follow me?
Yep.
Okay, so that's what she read quietly on June 20th, 2022 from her office. And it's almost as if, well, we said it. It's not our fault that you didn't see it. It seems like it's that kind of game. I'm not saying that's what it was, but it should have been the president reading it, and it should have been for everybody to make known. But she read it in such a way, and then the video just disappeared. And I have it on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
So to witness it, to see that I speak the truth. All right. Now we're going to go back to the title of nobility. Very important for you to understand this as well, because this is going to tie into your heritage. All right. First, what we're going to do is we're going to read what the amendment actually says. So, title of nobility amendment was passed on May 1st, 1810. Here's the explanation that they give. The titles of nobility amendment is a proposed and still pending amendment to the United States Constitution. The 11th Congress passed it on May 1st, 1810, and submitted to the state legislatures for ratification. It would strip United States citizens from any citizen who accepted a title of nobility from an emperor, king, prince, or foreign power. Now, the question that has to be asked here, since we don't know what we were in 1864 to 1865 in our Jubilee year, some of us, or most of us, could be nobles, especially coming from overseas in Europe and Ireland, England, Scotland. Those and our ancestors in America, we were all considered to be nobles at one point in time. And nobility is a status. It is a status that was in the original kingdom. People had titles of nobility, and people had to, had certain protocols on how they dealt with people who had nobility status. And thus, when you see the Queen of England, the so-called Queen of England and others, they're basically emulating what they learned from our ancestors.
Yes, they are.
Right. So we have to understand that if you want to see a template, they just copied and perverted it, obviously, but copied it as to what they learned from us. Mm-hmm. So I want to let you know that they did that before they made you a United States citizen. Now, if you accept being a United States citizen, then what happens? You're stripped of your nobility status. Mm-hmm. That. So now, the question now that they set you free as of June 20th, 2022, of course, Kamala just read the proclamation. Is that because you're in the Jubilee year? The Golden Jubilee, the 50th Golden Jubilee? Is that kind of a coincidence that she would read this proclamation to set you free henceforth from that day forward under the Super Shemitah year? Something to think about. I'm going to leave that to you guys to think about that, but it looks pretty obvious to me. Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to go to July 3rd to July 7th. As you recall, everything was about CERN. CERN is going to be firing up on July 5th, and it's going to this, that, and the third. But did you know that the Sirius star and our star Ra, or the yellow sun that you see today, were going to conjunct and open a portal They didn't tell anyone that part. So from July 3rd to July 7th, Sirius Star and the star Ra, or our star Ra, had conjunct. And apparently, a portal is open for 180 days. What does this portal do? I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I'm still trying to figure that out. Because, like I said, they tell you things, but it's in riddles. Yeah. Okay. Maybe one of our family members out that I'm sharing today. Now, ironically, on the same day that you got your Independence Day, on June 20th, 2022, Israel dissolved its government to build a new one. And I don't know why they decided to do that so suddenly. Mm-hmm. And what type of new government are they putting together? As a matter of fact, if you're paying attention, all nations are changing their constitution and their government structure. You'll see now that Boris Johnson is being asked to step down. Now they're bringing up accusations on Macron. Also the German chancellor has some issues now. It's like everybody's being taken out of power or asked to resign. Ironically. Yep. So that's very interesting. These are things that I hadn't seen anyone pointing out, and I wanted to bring it to our light so that we can have this information. Now, the planetary alignment is called the Grand Alignment, where all 7 planets on June 24th, including the crescent moon, will come into a perfect alignment. Some of them call it the Planet Parade alignment. But that happened the last time in 1864. And what it also means, because you got to realize June is 6, the 6th month, 2 plus 4 is the 6th day, and it's 222 equals 6. Mm-hmm. So 6, which is, it could be the sign of the mark of the beast for some, and for some, it's the mark of man. Mm-hmm. Man, which is 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neurons, which is a 9 ether being, which is supposedly our bloodline. Supposedly. I just want to point that out. That also, that is called the Renaissance time as of June 24th. So Renaissance, let's look up the word Renaissance. Renaissance means born again, rise again, reappear, revise, beget means give birth or revival. So could that be also, ironically, that this is happening under the 50th Golden Jubilee year, where it says all must be returned to us and we must be returned to our bloodline, which is family. Mm-hmm. So these are things that I want to bring closer to us. Now, in the financial sector, we also have to pay attention because we're in a Jubilee year. And this Jubilee year, there's a lot of moving and shaking going on with you. And for you, you all have seen the Georgia Guidestones being blown up, and a lot of the Japanese prime minister, former prime minister, excuse me, having his mishap of assassination. It's ironic that his party, Mr. Abe, I think is his name, is the majority party ruling in the Japan, I guess, Congress or whatever you call it, and they're getting to decide what their new constitution will be. Mm-hmm. So again, countries are reorganizing, realigning right when we get our independence. Yep. Okay. Yep. So now here's another interesting thing. Now we're looking at the war in Ukraine. All right. And if you notice, they're making such a big fuss about the Ukraine and Russia. Now, if you look at the geopolitical situation, you see there's a split amongst the countries, amongst the nations, the Psalms 83. I happen to think, this is my theory, I'm not saying I'm correct, but it's just something to observe, that some nations, maybe NATO is saying, the NATO nations are saying, hey, we don't want to set them free. We want to keep this system the same. And maybe the other nations are saying, what we did is wrong. We need to fix this because the earth is out of balance. And it's the Jubilee time. And again, they're afraid of the Creator, the Most High, is the Creator's laws. They must be adhered to. So they're saying, hey, we need to go back to a gold standard, which is God said gold and silver is money and precious metals, period. No fiat money. Sorry about the motorcycle. You have to deal with that in Asia. So Russia, as of March 28, 2022, returned back to a gold standard. So, in other words, Russia's money is backed by gold, as well as the other BRICS nations. If you haven't heard what BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay? They all came together to make their own financial system and starting a whole new situation outside of the SWIFT system that's governed by NATO, which is by basically the adversaries of our birthright who claim that they're the birthright. Okay? So now Saudi Arabia, as of July 3rd, 2022, is in discussions to join BRICS as well. Now, here's a key thing. Now, you heard all this thing about the abortion, right?
Yep.
And how they overturned Roe versus Wade. But this has a double meaning, actually. They're upset about abortion, but they're upset about something that slipped past everybody. And it's very important. So abortion means to abort a fetus, but it also means failure of plan. Okay? Now, I didn't write the date down to this. I'll have to go get the date. But the Supreme Court ruling restricted executive powers over climate change regulations from the government. Okay? So that means that they don't have the population control, restricting travel, pandemic, carbon tax. That's all under the climate change regulations. But somehow the Supreme Court overturned that. I don't know why. And they restricted executive power over that. Now that put them in a real tiff. And so that's why you saw them talking about abortion. We gotta dismantle the Supreme Court. Could that be why? I'm just giving you these things to look at that are not being brought out into the open.
Yes.
Last but not least, and this is what my urgency was about, brother. There is a very, very big comet that is going to pass by Earth on July 14th, 2022, which is a couple of days from now. And the comet name is C/217 K2. Okay. And it's supposed to be one of the largest comets. And apparently you can see it with the naked eye, I guess, around that time, which might, if they're not spraying the sky so you can't see the stars. Yeah. You're supposed to be able to see it. Now, remember, in my last time we talked, comets are never a good omen.
No.
So this one's a big one.
Yep.
The biggest one, right? The biggest one. Just big mamas flying through the sky.
Exactly.
And it's blue, which could it be the blue Kachina? Could it be true? I have no idea. The elliptical orbit that it does is coming past Earth, goes under, and swings past the sun, and it will get to the sun on December 19th, 2022. And it will swing back and go out to space. So it kind of fits the Planet X, but I'm not sure. I don't want to, jump the gun. But it is a comet that you can look this up. I'll say it again. C/217 K2 makes its closest approach to Earth on July 14th, 2022.
Okay.
And it will swing past the sun on December 19th, 2022.
Okay.
So these are some keynotes that I felt that needed to be brought out, especially the Jubilee, and especially what Kamala read, because I happen to believe that we were given our freedom on that day, and we missed it. And I prayed to the Creator, the Most High, because I was upset because a lot of our people were complaining about Juneteenth. We don't need no holiday, and I was like, it's not a holiday; it's your Independence Day. That's totally different than a holiday. So why would America or the United States have Independence Day on July 4th, and then they gave you an Independence Day on June 20th? Is it because of the Jubilee year that the Queen and everybody's celebrating but us, who we should be celebrating? Because we're the ones that have all our things returned to us. In Leviticus, that's what it says. The 50th year of the Jubilee, we're supposed to be restored. And the star, the black sun, is also our twin binary star, which it could be Sirius star. I still have to research that, so don't quote me on that. But that star is supposed to, when it returns, your DNA, you can research this. They're studying you.
Yes, they are.
Scientists is studying you, family. Your blood, your DNA. They're studying it, and they understand that the radiation from the sun can either damage or repair your DNA. Okay, so now let's look at this a little bit closely. So your DNA right now is in a dormant state of being. In other words, it's switched off. It's cut off. Right? So you're in a portal state of being. Hypothetically speaking, according to their words, it's even hard for me to believe, family. It's even hard for me to be, brother, for real, that when this star returns, it will recombine, their scientific terminology, your DNA and all of your abilities that we've been reading about in the books that you've been sharing with us would be switched on. So could this be why they fear? Now, I'm going to point out something else that's very important, and because we're all family throughout the diaspora.
Yes.
But the question that I ask is, in the diaspora, they'll let everyone else have a country. They'll let them speak their language. They'll let them practice their culture. But in North America, we're not allowed to do any of those things.
Yep.
And it's almost like tooth and nail just to even find out anything. I mean, just anything about our heritage.
Yep.
I just posed this question. Even when she set us free, she couldn't even give us the honor of telling us what we were known before that time. Kamala. She still gave us the misnomer, the byword, black people. So what is it that is about us that they're so kid gloves with? This is the question, and this is the time that you're in. You're in a 50th Jubilee year. She's read your proclamation. You'll be able to hear it. And the question is that we've been free actually since 1864. Mm-hmm. So are we the elephant standing at the pole, untied?
Yeah.
Did we fall for the illusion of freedom when we were actually free? And then well, you're going to be United States citizens. You're going to be a part of us.
Yeah.
And they made us property of them, but we're not in our sleep, in our slumber, in our not knowing. We didn't put these things together because, like I said, we're in the apocalypse now, the unveiling.
Yes.
So these are the things that I want. I hope I covered everything, and I hope I wasn't going too fast, brother.
Oh no! This is great information, and then giving us a much deeper perspective. You made a lot of great connections, and what we're really definitely seeing is how, like you said, the Queen of England. All these other nations are all just copying things that we did. Now that we understand that none of these things originated with them, it's very easy to see that they are just copying everything that we used to do. They're just holding our heritage and our traditions for us when we awaken.
Right. That's correct. That's absolutely correct. And it's in plain sight if you can understand what to see and what to look for. Mm-hmm. And they'll even say things like this speech that she read, that if you understand the true meaning of the words, because what you think the word may mean in this language, they've indoctrinated us to believe that certain words have one meaning, but all of these words in this bastardized language that we're speaking have root meanings. Mm-hmm. And they're actually speaking from the root meaning of the word and not the current cosmopolitan meaning of the word as of today. So that's how we're messing up.
Yes. So you're so correct. And like I said, it is amazing to see that they're apologizing, or they're trying to release us, but not really apologize and not really release us.
Right, exactly. And they're trying to, and now if you have this understanding, if you can see this, now a lot of the finagling that you see going on amongst these nations and the struggles, them fighting with each other, mm-hmm. it all starts to make sense now.
Yes.
See?
Because some want to come clean. Some want to come clean and, and tell the truth. And others are, hey, there's no way they're gonna take it all the way to the grave.
Exactly. That's how they like, hey, I'm going out gangster with it. I don't care. And the other side's like, hey, if we don't fix this, the creator's gonna wipe us all out. Because mm-hmm. that's the rules.
That's it.
It's a very severe. Go ahead, brother.
Well, they've set up an entire civilization off of nothing but a bunch of lies. They've gone around and stolen land, raped, robbed, and murdered, and told everyone that you're never going to have to pay for this. You're going to get raptured up out of here, so don't worry about it. These people are insignificant. And now the truth is the Most High is revealing all these things to our people. We're bringing all this information out, and they have no recourse. There's nothing that they can say to prove anything that we're saying is wrong.
That's right. They don't have no rebuttal at all. And so you see nations splitting. You see a split. We're the BRICS nations now, and we got our own financial system. And if you want to buy gas and oil from us, you got to pay in rubles with gold-backed rubles. And the NATO nations are like, and we want to keep our fiat system going.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
And we don't want to deal with gold, because gold, again, everything to do with God, they not doing.
Exactly. And you're so right. And it's amazing to see, because we understand that everything that is happening revolves around us as a people. So all the infighting that you're seeing, all of the back and forth, all of the trying to get themselves set up, the other nations want to make it sound like it's all about the Illuminati, or it's about the rich people, and they're going to be here at the end. It's like, no. I said it all has to deal with us awakening. And the video I did today, out of a Freemason book, and because that's our information as well, and it was like pretty much showing you that once we start to gravitate back to our heritage, back to our traditions, is when the Most High is going to turn his face back to us. We're not going to allow the other nations to dictate, using bywords, who we are, what's ours. And once we start to just disconnect from them, now you see the whole world just going, just splitting at the seams.
Right, right, and that's why I felt this urgency that I need, because I heard your broadcast earlier today, and I said, man, this information that I'm sitting on got to come out, because
Yes.
I didn't really see anybody touching on the Jubilee. I didn't see anybody touching on what Kamala had did with the speech and all of these signs in the heavens and what they truly mean and the dates they're falling on and the pattern.
Mm-hmm.
The pattern, because they did this before. We're in a loop.
Yes, we
so
are.
to speak, because in 1865 we were already supposed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And Kamala, in another video, which I got to find, she even so much in 1865, that was the 400 years.
Yep.
I was like, what? So I got to confirm that, but she said that.
They know, and they've been knowing. They know that their time is up, and they've been knowing. And it's amazing how Joe Biden didn't go out there to give this speech. He's like, no, I'm not going there and saying this. Let her. That's why I got her to be the VP. She can go out there and say it, because he's not going to do that.
Right. So it was kind of like they know they got to let us go. They're going to do it in a dishonorable way. Trust me.
Yes.
That was dishonorable. I'm not going to do it. I'm the president. Let's get a second string Kamala to do it.
Exactly.
So she gets out there and does it. They put it out there for maybe 48 hours or whatever. And then the video disappears.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't see it, you didn't see it. That ain't our fault. We said it.
Exactly.
And then when they do the financial part of things, which you see the financial reset, the stock market's crashing. That's all got to do with going back to God's money. And who are the heirs?
Mm-hmm.
You are.
Exactly. Because it is it's the underlying reason as to why things are happening that the other nations will not admit to.
Right, exactly. And so you see the stock market resetting itself. You see the gold price going up and down like a yo-yo.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the inflation. Now, here's the thing. They say we're in a recession, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the inflation and the gas prices and all of this. Now, let's look at that a little bit closely. Inflation is happening because what if, hypothetically speaking, that once the dollar crashes, what are the economists are saying? The gold is just gonna go through the roof. It's just gonna take off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means that if you got gold, when the dollar crashed, all of the goods would be what? Basically worth pennies to you. So would it make sense to we got to jack up the prices before we kill this monetary system and change it to the gold-backed digital currency that they're trying to put out? If that's what we're going to receive, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yes.
But let's just look at it, the fact that they're jacking the prices up, I believe, getting ready because they have to return your possessions to you.
Yes. Yes.
Just an observation to throw out there, brother. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's the case, but it's just interesting.
The last hurrah. Like the last hurrah.
Right. Because they know you need stuff, right? Mm-hmm. They know you need, we've been the most deprived people on the planet.
Yep.
Like, again, now remember, I'm not saying that we're not different from the Africans or we all brothers and sisters diaspora. Mm-hmm. This is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the African American, for some reason, we're not allowed to even have our own Negro town.
Nope. They burn that down too.
You got China. Right, exactly. I mean, what is it that they just got the boot on us the hardest?
Yep.
Now, I could be wrong. And again, I'm saying this with very, caution. Mm-hmm. But it's just an observation. I've traveled around the world and I've seen everybody else gets to be who they are. Jamaicans can be in Jamaica and hey man, and they can do their thing and they got their little, don't get me wrong, they got the queen at the head of the state, but they still was allowed to be able to kind of govern themselves in some way, shape, form, or at least have their culture. Mm-hmm. They flipped us completely out where we're completely not understanding what's really going on. Mm-hmm. And we're kind of trying to pick up the pieces, and it's time for us. I think that this can't go on anymore. Mm-hmm. I think that this is I think this is being said, that this has to stop now.
Yes.
So I just wanted to bring that to you definitely before this comet passes by. It could be nothing. It could be a lot. I don't know. But it was on my heart that I needed to bring this information out. And definitely that most likely, based on what I'm reading, you are free from the United States government corporation as of June 20th, 2022, your Independence Day, which you can go look on the government site yourself. And it says National Independence Day Act. And I just told you what that means. Mm-hmm. So why would they, in the news, they're going to Juneteenth you now about the ice cream and Juneteenth, and that was the day to slay. But they don't, they tell me if I'm wrong. Did they ever say Juneteenth National Independence Day Act in the media?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of, oh yeah, it's your holiday. Uh-huh. And we can't expect everybody to celebrate our holiday. It is our Independence Day.
Yep.
So it's on us to know what day it is and for us to celebrate our independence. And the question is, you independent from who? Go to Wikipedia and type up Independence Day and look at everybody's Independence Day. And they said the Albanians got independent from the Moroccans, and that day the British got independent from the so and so. You see, so why is ours got a question mark?
Exactly. Exactly. You can't expect the oppressors to admit absolutely anything.
Right. It's up to us to put our heads together and, try to put these dots together. And I hope that this information will connect some things together, because we're in a prophetic time. Their Shemitah ends September 23rd, 2022. So that's like what we got. We're almost halfway into July.
Yep. Couple months.
August. Right. So it's like basically 2 months. Mm-hmm. And you notice, like, as soon as we got past that, the guy stores is blown up. Uh-huh. And then all world leaders is like, you got to get out, Boris Johnson. I don't want to hear it. I'm not leaving yet. You're going to leave now.
Yep. All of these events are all tied together. So like I said, it's all about our awakening.
Right. Governments are dissolving now. Remember Russia in 2021 and 2020, they dissolved their government and they rebooted their system back in 2020. So all these nations are doing it or have done so. And you got to ask yourself, why?
Yep. What are they expecting?
What is that all about?
What are they expecting? Well, I mean, it goes back to Joel 2 and how the Most High is going to return our lands back to us. He's going to remove these armies off of our lands. And you're seeing it happening while, you start seeing the government just sending all this military equipment over, to Ukraine, all these different places. They can't give the money away fast enough. They can't give the equipment away fast enough. So if something's going on, it's a fulfillment. That's the thing. That's why you can't go to the Gentiles and have them break down our records, because they have no understanding. Like they're telling us our lands are over there. I'm like, our lands are right here. These are these lands of milk and honey right here. You guys came over here, and you're going to be going back to wherever it was you came from.
Right. And remember, everybody, our bloodline, this whole planet is our bloodline. Mm-hmm. We are that's our land, but all our brothers and sisters across that's on the same bloodline, that's all our land too.
Exactly.
The Most High left us in charge of His earth.
Exactly.
Or whatever we call it. We're the bloodline birthright. That's why the stakes are high.
Yep. And they know it.
So you got right. And we got to know it now.
And that's the thing. Yeah. Our people they don't know it.
Right. That's why we got to get them to see today that the stakes are way bigger then you're just going to leave with some great substance. And then, do you see all these nations, like me and my brother here talking about, making all of these? Well, I'm going to join BRICS. Well, you go ahead. Well, we need more oil. No, we're going to go with Russia now. We're not going to. Well, what about you? Well, I'm going to join this side. Well, I'm with NATO. See? What's that all about right about now? Well, we got to help the Ukraine. Without the Ukraine, we can't have no oil, no grain. No, Ukraine ain't Africa.
Right, exactly.
That's the country. Why? Because you know why? Because they own the system. The system that we've been under this crazy system, they own that system, and they're threatening. Well, we'll cut our system off, and you won't be able to get any food and supplies, and that. That's a threat. And Russia's like, go ahead. We don't care.
Yep.
We don't care. We over here, and we gotta. And see, none of these nations are your friends. Now, I ain't trying to convey that.
Nope.
But some of them are just like getting scared. They're like, hey, man, we need to set this right. These people over here about ready 150 years of sleep because they don't even know that they're free because they didn't really tell them. Could that be the case? And then they're like, no, we need to tell them the truth and put them back in their position. Well, they're not even ready for it. Look at them. They don't even know who they are. They're twerking and this, that. But that don't matter.
Nope.
We got to put them back in their seat.
Exactly. And that's what the Most High does. He uses other nations, to fulfill his will. And he's going to use other nations just like he did in the past. He's doing the same thing right now.
Right. That's why you got to see the pattern. And I thank you for letting me do this on such short notice.
Oh, not a problem. All praises to the Most High. I was able to.
Yes. And it took a burden off of my heart.
Beautiful. Well, I'm sure the nation is definitely going to love this interview and all this great information that you brought. I'm so it warms my heart, and it's great to hear from you.
Same here, brother. It's always a pleasure, and I'm just grateful that we can talk and we can have such a beautiful relationship.
Yes, sir.
As friends and as brothers.
Yes,
I really do, and we can work together to bring this information to light so that we can all, like I said, people, you got to understand the time you're in. They're telling you in plain sight. There's certain things you're going to have to dig up because they're not going to tell you the comet's coming. You notice their mum's the word on that.
Yes. I haven't heard anything about it. I have not heard one thing about that.
And this is a big one. This is like the Big Mac of comets is here, and nobody's got nothing to say. Now, normally, you have all the scientists out there. Well, we got the comet coming out. It's going to be beautiful. We got our telescopes. They ain't got nothing to see.
Yep. Don't look up. That's just like the show. Don't look up.
Right. That's it. So, with that, I hope that this was enlightening to all of you, and I again thank you. And again, don't trust me. Take that information I gave and look it up for yourself.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you.
Same, likewise, man. And my love to you and all of our brothers and sisters out there. May we all reach our freedom and get through this maze and really understand the severity of how much it's not really hate. They're feared, number one. Number two, everything they own belongs to you.
Yes, sir.
Let that sink in. All the gold and silver on this planet belongs to God's people. That's us and other brothers and sisters out there. It doesn't belong to them. Imagine that. And right now, it's the reset. The glitch reset.
Yep. Yep.
So stay up on knowledge and stay aware. And again, always pay attention to what they're not saying.
Exactly.
So with that, I'll close, brother.
Thank you so much. Hold on real fast. Thank you, family, for being here. All praise is the Most High. Shalom.